Namaste friends, welcome back to my channel. Friends, in this video we would be making this beautiful necklace. It's a choker necklace and I have named this necklace as Tarini necklace. Here you can see the shape of this pendant is of sun and thus I have named it as Tarini. Tarini means sun. So here we would be making this Tarini necklace in two parts. One is this pendant and the next part is this choker. And I'll be making this tutorial in two parts again. In first video I'll be making the pendant and in the second video I'll be showing you this necklace. Friends, here I have made some Tarini pendants in different colorways. Here you can see that I have already made this pendant in red color, dark red color, and then this one is in cream color, and you can see I have used golden and silver beads here for the outer of this pendant, and the other one I have made in green and pink color. So here I have already done these pendants in three colorways, and in my necklace I have made this in teal green color. And in this video we would be making this Tarini pendant. In this video I'll be showing you the making of this pendant. So I'll be showing you the material needed for the pendant only, and for the choker, that is this necklace, I'll be showing the material in the next video. So let us see what all material do we need to make this Tarini pendant. In this video we are going to make this pendant in pink color. So let us see the material. For making our Tarini pendant in fuchsia or in pink color, we would need this 14 mm Rivoli. Here I am using this Rivoli in fuchsia color. Then I'll be using these 11 seed beads. I'll be using these seed beads in the base color as I'll be working with fuchsia color Rivoli. So here I'm using this 11. This is Milky Duracoat Silver Lined Fuchsia 11. So this is again in fuchsia color. Then I'll be using these 15 O's. These are Milky Duracoat Galvanized Magenta 15 O's. Then I'll be using these seed beads. These are 11 O's and 15 O's. Both these are in Milky Duracoat Galvanized Champagne color. These are Milky Duracoat Galvanized Champagne 11 O, and this is Milky Duracoat Galvanized Champagne 15 O. I'll be using these pearls in two sizes. This is 3 mm and this is 4 mm size, and here I'm using this in powder rose color. Then here I'm using the bicons. These are 4 mm bicons in pink opal pink color. I'll be working with Milky thread and size 12 beading needle. So let's get started. For making our pendant, we would first bezel our 14 mm Rivoli, and for bezeling this I'll be using rose stitch. So for this I'll pick up 4 11 seed beads in base color. Here I'm using fuchsia silver line Milkies. So I will bring them down towards the end of my thread and tie a double knot like this. And now I will pass through all these 4 11 O's. Pulling in this tail between the beads very gently. Like this. And now I will pick up 3 11 O fuchsia silver line, and here you can see that I'm exiting through this 11 O. After picking up these 3 11 O's, I will pass through the same 11 O. Like this. So here you can see that I have made 2 raw components, and now I will move up through this 11O like this. And now I'll be making my third raw component. So again I'll be picking up 3 11O fuchsia silver line and pass through this 11O like this, making my third raw component. Again I will move up into this 11O on the left. As I'm working with my left hand, so this would be on my left, and if you work with right hand, it would be on your right. So again I'll be making my next raw component, again picking up 3, and fourth one is already here, so I'll be passing through this fourth one like this. So this is my fourth raw component. Like this. So here you can see that I have made 1, 2, 3, 4 raw components, and for making the bezel ring for my 14 mm Rivoli, I need 16 raw components in my ring. So I'll be making a chain with 15 raw components, and 16 would be the one that would join the two ends. So here I have already made 4 components. I'll be making 11 more and come back. So here I have made this 15 component chain, raw component chain. Let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. And now I'll be joining the two ends of this chain, bringing these two closer like this. These two 11Os closer. Here you can see I'm exiting through this 11O. Now as I'm exiting through this 11O, now I will pick up 1 11O fuchsia silver line and pass through this next 11O, this opposite one, like this. Again I will pick up 1 11O silver line fuchsia and pass through my first 11O like this. So this is my 16th component joining my chain of raw component, and now we have created this ring for making our bezel case. Now I will exit through this 11O on the top. So this is a ring, and now here as you can see I'm exiting through this 11O. We would be making another ring over this one. So for this again I'll be picking up 3 11Os and make a raw component on the top of it like this. Move up through these two 11Os, down through this and into the next raw component like this. Now we have to create a raw component over this one. Here we already have 2 and we need to pick up 2 more 11Os. So here we have 2 11Os, and now I'll be passing through these 2. So now I have my 4 11Os for making my raw component like this. Now I will move up through this 11O. Now again we would be making a raw component on this next one. So here again we have 1, 2 11 O's. Now I'll be picking up 2 more 11 O's and I will pass through this 11 O. Like this, we have created our third raw component over my chain, over our ring, down through this 11 O and into the next raw component in the chain, like this. Again we will pick up 2 11 O fuchsia silver line and pass through these 2 11 O's, like this. So here you can see that we have created these raw components over this ring that we created previously, and the same way we would be making these raw components all through this round. Now here you can see that I have added these raw component over my ring, and now here I have to add my last component, and for this, as you can see, I'm exiting through this 11 O. I will go down through this 11 O and into this one. In our last raw component we already have 3 11 O's. You can see this 1 2 3, we already have 3. So here we are going to pick up only 1 11 O and pass through all these 3 11 O's, like this. And here we have completed our ring, and now I will step up into this first raw component, the top 11 O of my first raw component of the top ring, and now I will pick up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 11 O fuchsia silver line. Again I will pick up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 11 O fuchsia silver line, like this. Again picking up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 11 O fuchsia silver line. Again picking up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 11 O fuchsia silver line, and this way I'll be adding these 15 O champagne all through this round. Now here I'm adding my last 15 O champagne of this round, and I will step up into the first 15 O champagne that I added in this round. So this is the look of the bezel ring after adding these 15 O champagnes. Now in my next round again I'll be adding these 15 O champagne in between the 15 O champagnes that we added in this last round. So here I'm picking up 115 O champagne, and now I will pass through this next 15 O champagne, like this. Again I will pick up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne, like this. Again pick up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne. So this way I'll be adding these 15 O champagne all through this round. Now here I'm adding my last 15 O champagne of this round, and step up into the first 15 O champagne that we added in this round. And after adding this second round of 15 O champagne, this is the look of our bezel case. And now in this third round we are again adding 15 O champagne, but in a pattern. So here I'm adding this 15 O champagne, my first 15 O champagne, and after this I will go down into this 15 O champagne that I added in the first round, up into this 15 O champagne, that I added in the second round, and now I will pick up one 15 champagne and pass through this next 15 champagne like this. Here you can see that in this way I have skipped one 15 champagne in between. Here I added one, skipped the second and added on the third one. So again here I'm exiting through the 15 champagne added in the second round, going down into the 15 champagne added in the first round, up into the second round 15 champagne, and now I will pick up one 15 champagne and pass through this next 15 champagne. Go down into this 15 champagne, up into the next 15 champagne, pick up one 15 champagne and pass through this next 15 champagne, down into the first 15 champagne, add 15 champagne added in the first round, up into this 15 champagne, pick up one 15 champagne, pass through the next one, down into this one, up. So this way we are going to add these 15 champagne all through this round. Now after adding this last 15 champagne of this round, this is the look of the bezel case from the front side. And now again I will go down through this 15 champagne like this into this 11 fuchsia silver lined, down through this 11 fuchsia silver line, into this fuchsia silver line, into this one, and into this one. So this is the look of our bezel case from the front side, and now very gently we are going to place our rivoli into our case like this. So this would be the look, and now we are going to close our bezel case. And now after exiting through this 11, now we can cut off this tail. And now I'm going to pick up one 11 fuchsia silver line and pass through this next 11, skip this next one, again pick up one 11 silver line, 11 fuchsia silver line, and pass through this next 11 fuchsia, skip the next one, again pick up one 11 fuchsia silver line and pass through this next 11, skip the next one, and in this way we are going to add these 11 fuchsia silver line by adding one 11, skipping the other, adding one 11 and skipping the other, all through this round. Now here I am adding my last 11 fuchsia and skip this one like this. So after adding these 11s, this is the look, and now I will step up into the first 11 fuchsia that I added in this round like this. Now again I will pick up one 11 fuchsia and pass through this next 11 fuchsia that I added in the last round like this. Again I will pick up one 11 silver line fuchsia and pass through this next 11 that I added in the last round. Again I will pick up one 11 fuchsia and pass through this next 11 silver line fuchsia that I added in the last round. So this way I'll be adding these 11 O's all through this round. Now here I'm adding my last 11 O fuchsia, and this is the look after adding these fuchsia 11 O's in this round. And now I'm stepping up into the first 11 O fuchsia, and in this round we are going to add 15 O's. So for this I'm picking up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 11 O fuchsia that I added in the last round. Again I'm picking up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 11 O fuchsia added in the last round. Again picking up 115 O champagne and pass through the next 11 O fuchsia added in the last round. And in this way I will be adding these 15 O champagne all through this round. Now here I am adding my last 15 O champagne and step up into the first 15 O champagne that I added in this round. And this is the look of our bezel case. Now I will pick up one 15 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne, skip the other like this. Again I will pick up one 15 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne and skip the other one. Like this. Again pick up one 15 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne, skip the next one, and now adding my last 15 O champagne of this round like this, and skip this last one. And step up into the first 15 O champagne that we added in this round. And now for this closing round I'm picking up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne added in the last round. Again picking up 115 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne added in the last round. Again picking up 115 O champagne, passing through the next one, and my last 15 O champagne and pass through this next 15 O champagne like this, stepping up into the first 15 O champagne of this round. And now I'll be passing through all these 4 15 O champagne that I added in this round without adding any bead like this, just to close my bezel like this. I'll be passing twice from these 4 15 O's. And this way we have closed our bezel case. And now I will move up to the edge of my bezel case. So moving up through these 15 O's, into this 11 O, this next 11 O, this one, into this 11 O, and into this 11 O. So here we have reached on the edge of our bezel case. So here you can see I'm exiting through this 11 O, just opposite to this one. Here you can see, if we see from the front side, this is a raw component, this first 11 O, and right now I am exiting through this one, this opposite one, 1 2 and 3, this one. And now I'm going to pick up one 11 O champagne and pass through this next 11 O fuchsia. Again I'm going to pick up one 11 O champagne and pass through this 11 O fuchsia, pick up one 11 O champagne and pass through this next 11 of fuchsia. You can see that we are adding these 11 O's on the edge of our bezel case. So again I'm picking up 11 of champagne and pass through this next 11 of fuchsia, and this way I'll be adding these 11 O's all through this round. Now here I'm adding my last 11 of champagne, and now I will step up into the first 11 of champagne that I added in this round, and this is the look after adding these 11 O's on the edge. And now as I am exiting through this 11 of champagne, I will pick up one 3mm pearl and pass through this next 11 of champagne. Again I will pick up one 3mm pearl and pass through this next 11 of champagne. Again picking up this 3mm pearl and pass through this next 11 of champagne, picking up 3mm pearl and pass through this next 11 of champagne, and this way I'll be adding these 3mm pearl all through this round. Now here I'm adding my last 3mm pearl like this, and after adding these 3mm pearls, this is the look of our pendant. And now I will step up into the first 3mm pearl that I added in this round, and now I will pick up 115 champagne and pass through this next 3mm pearl. Again I'm picking up 115 champagne and pass through this next 3mm pearl. Again picking up 115 champagne and pass through this next 3mm pearl, and this way like this. And this way we are going to add these 15 champagne in between these 3mm pearls all through this round. And now I'm adding my last 15 champagne and stepping up into the first 15 champagne that I added in this round. And after adding these 15 O's, this is the look of our pendant.